And you're welcome back to the right venue. I'm Anton Savage, and this is your Hired. And we had a hiring tonight, and what would a hiring be without a hiree?
My job is to make the decision, and here and now, I really have to do that on instinct. So, what I have to say is, Michelle, you're hired.
The winner of the Apprentice 2010, Michelle Massey. Michelle, how are you? Thank you, guys. Michelle, Niamh told us that she was very relieved to have avoided it. How glad were you to actually get the finger?
I loved it. Delighted, obviously. I couldn't believe it, like, especially after the couple of weeks leading up to it were fairly full on, so just...
Did you think you had it in the bag?
No, especially with the firing with Jamie and Ciara. That was it, I was gone, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, and you came out and you said the thing of the Steve from last year and during the interviews with Gavin. Did you actually think, right, that was it?
Gone, definitely. I remember coming out and going, Gavin was a gentleman, but I'm not getting the job.
There was a suggestion that part of why you might be doing it was fame for the modelling and everything else.
I'm sure I've done the modelling. So it wasn't that wasn't why I was there. Like, Brian and Jackie really see us for every single second of the task, and I think if there was anyone in there that was in it for anything other than getting the job, the second they were in the boardroom, they'd be gone. So, you know, hopefully I proved to them that that's why I was there.
And at what point during it did you begin to think, because I assume if you go in as 1 of 16, you have to say that, you know, you think you could win it. But there had to be a point where you began to think, actually, you know what, I could win this.
I actually never said I thought I could win it. I didn't want to jinx myself. And I was like, oh, God. But I think the way I did it was, like, I took it task by task. So, you know, maybe I'll get through this one, nice one. And I remember I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm halfway through now. And then 3/4 of the way, and before I knew it, I was in the final.
And did you think you were going to get canned after the Woodies task?
Oh, God, yeah. After the 20-euro gate, people would be coming up to you in the street. Like, I could have been a millionaire for the amount of people that said, do you want to lend a 20 quid? Like, but it was just like, at the time, you're so focused, and there's nothing else in the world. There's only getting the job, and it's the only thing you're interested in, and you've no contact with family or friends or anything like that. So it's the most important thing in the world. And losing 20 euro is actually the end of the world. It's like, where am I going to get this from?
You have the funniest panic face in the history of the world.
I know.
Because you're so, like, everything's done, you know, you've got one thing, okay, the next thing, and then when something is out of line, you don't say, okay, you just go, and you can see the panic building. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was amazing watching the final because the two of you were so close. And all the time, like, this is the final, we're going to see panic face. And it never came. It was almost disappointing how good you both were at the end.
And Jenny, at any stage were you betting on Michelle to win?
Yeah, definitely. After the Cadbury's task, I just knew you had it in the bag. You're so confident, but you're so sassy as well and so business savvy. I just knew. But I have to ask you one thing. Since you've been out, I'm sure you've seen Barry, and you might want me to ask this question, but what are relations like now? Honestly,
Me and Barry have totally sorted things out. There wasn't one person in that house that didn't deserve to be there.
Is the pressure getting the tasks done, or is it facing Bill?
Oh, a bit of both. Like, you get the task and you're like, oh, Jesus, how am I going to do this? And then when you've done it, you're like, God, how am I going to explain what I did wrong? Only in the boardroom are you going to be told what your mistakes are. And when I got given out to, it was always for something I genuinely did really wrong. And it wasn't just like a little mistake, it was something huge. So I couldn't even argue my case. Like, Bill would be like, Michelle, you did this, and this wrong. And I'd be like, yeah, sorry, I won't do it again. Like...
Well, given that we're not going to get to see any more of it this year, let's remind ourselves of how terrifying Bill can be.
But how could you have let that go on? I mean, it drives me nuts.
Bill was dressed up as a Spartan warrior. And he was like, I am asking the question, who are you going to bring back to the boardroom?
Which bright spark thought it was a good idea to visit my garage?
First of all, I had to go hunting for things to do.
That's childish, Michelle.
OK, well...
We're not in kindergarten. It's not a creche. You have messed up so badly that you let an 11-month calendar beat you. Hannes, explain the game to me.
The name of the game was Baba Trap Ship.
What?
Like, he just sliced my head off.
Do you think that's honest?
I don't think it's dishonest.
Oh, my God.
But it wasn't intended to literally pull the wool over or anything like that.
Barry, you call it spoofing.
what do you do? Like, if you try to explain what happened to you, you make excuses. And if you don't explain, he tells you you're spoofing. Oh.
I'm not interested in anything except results. This man is Dean.
That's right.
And he's only 16. I have real concerns about the whole for you.
I do have a fear of jigsaws. Like, he has, like, laser beams in his eyes. As soon as he looks at you, he's like...
I kept the whole show on the road in fairness.
Oh, lovely.
When
He
I got
panicked.
Yeah.
He was running around like a blue arse fly, and now you kept the whole show on the road. Go look it up, and you'll never say it again.
I know I'm not as thick as a plank.
You better convince me of that. Don't ever try again to bullshit me.
I'm gonna get cue cards now and just hold them up. I'm sorry.
Crap.
I could do eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Well, he's here with us. Please give him a warm welcome to the boss, Bill Cullen. Bill. Bill, third season of The Apprentice. 3 sets of candidates you've seen. How did this year's bunch compare to the previous 2?
Well, they were very feisty, and that's one of the things that happens, that after 2 years of looking at the series, the fresh lot this year came in with all guns blazing, and we had to handle that in the boardroom.
So what was it then
what was
that gave Michelle the edge?
Business experience, particularly where we're going now as a company. And every company out there realises that going forward we have to become experts in e-commerce, because that's where our business is going to be. And Michelle has, 9, 10 years of experience in telecoms, and that's e-commerce, and we're getting into websites and all that. So in that context, she fitted our fit now. I wasn't looking for a salesperson, as Niamh is, but Michelle is one of the best salespersons that's been around in that business too.
Well, given, Michelle, that you said that you found him terrifying for the last 12 weeks, is he still as frightening as he was during the process? You're going to have a full year of this now.
I know, and yes. Not as terrifying, because now I have the job. It's more for me now. I want to prove to Bill and Jackie and Brian that they made the right decision. And for me, now I'm looking at the next 12 months as hopefully at the end of it I'll be able to stay for another year.
Did you hear what Adrian Tahany said there earlier on? He was dead right. He hit it on the nail, and I'm expressing this now to all the contestants that are here tonight. On the final episode, you all got behind the PM, and you gave it 100%, and it was brilliant. And none of you gave that in the prior 12 tasks. If you're part of a team, Anton, you're part of the team to win, and it doesn't matter who is at the PM.
Ah, but come on.
You all get
Jackie
benefits
said
out of it.
Michelle was a teary-eyed diva and that was a tactic, and you still, even if it was a tactic, she's still sitting here.
Niamh won 8 tasks, she was a winner in 7, she was a winner in 8 at the end of the day. So that's how close it was. So it's nothing to do with tears or anything like that. You can understand emotions affect all of us on occasion. But it was the whole desire to win. And that came out more, actually, out of Michelle than it did out of Niamh.
Well, let's remind ourselves of maybe some of the reasons why you made the decision that you made about Michelle. Here's Michelle's best bits.
I think I've proven to him that I'm a very hard worker. I want this job more than anything. Like, I want this job enough to, leave my friends, leave my family, leave everything, like, be broke when I get out. So hopefully I'll get it, and I won't have to worry about any of that.
Not to talk about what you managed to do with my dough.
Is there any other way we could pay you?
She has a body that I think every girl in the house envies. She's absolutely amazing. She has beauty and brains. Which is the real you, do you think?
All of them. I'm not ashamed at all that I did modelling. I guess now it's like that part of my life is over. I like to say to the guys back home, Gazpacho. You will not believe it.
She's learned to work with people. She's more tactful, I'd say.
Oh my God. We're all over the place. We need to be. I was like, I'm going to kill you. Like, really messing up. With regards to plateauing, I feel like I've hit a brick wall. In every single task that I've worked on, I have worked 100%.
It's the Michelle show.
Do not put this on me, Sarah. You are lying, and it's the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen.
Did you actually hear that?
The puddles will go behind us.
You will push me and you'll challenge me and you'll point me in the right direction, and then you'll expect me to go off and do it on my own. I just don't know if anybody else will give me the chance to do that. I'm sorry. I don't like them. He said that I had issues. Crying is a strength. I don't want to go home over that, like.
Michelle, you've shown me that you're more than just a salesperson.
I'm still fighting until I get an answer. Just give it socks to me.
She hits every major point. It's a good theme. Now, it will be used.
Congratulations, Michelle. You worked so hard, and you really and truly deserve it.
Michelle, you know the deal, nobody leaves empty-handed.
Oh.
Even if they've won the entire thing, they don't leave empty-handed. So we decided for day one, when is it, 3rd of January is that when you start?
Yes.
For the 3rd of January, we got you something that you could wear to work.
I do.
Exactly. So first thing when you go into the Glencullen group, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Massey.
Thank you.
And my thanks as well to my panel, Jenny Buckley, PJ Gallagher, and the boss man himself, Mr. Bill Cullen. And thanks as well to Jackie and to Brian for all of the help through the series. And a very special thanks to the 15 other people who made this series what it is, which are the people who took part, the Apprentice candidates themselves. That's it from us. Next week, in case you're afraid of getting withdrawal symptoms, there is going to be, at 9 o'clock on TV3, the 20 best, most memorable moments of all 3 series of The Apprentice. But from all of us here at Apprentice Central, bye-bye.